Hello and welcome back to another critical live stream. Spiral out calling me out over here. Or maybe just doing the intro with me, I suppose. I've heard a few people like to do that. We have FHI, the Youth Worship Explosion, Spiral Out, and Charm Tiger here so far. I'm going to let you all know. Minuscule Mule, welcome. First live stream, very exciting. I'm going to let y'all know that today we have quite a few longer tracks. I think we have a single song that's in like the 3.5 minute range, then everything else is 5+. So I kind of want to get this started and get rolling on this, but we don't have a lot of people here. Time for the initiation. Poipu, welcome. Glad to have you. Paris here too. Since my pick's going to be featured today, I guess I should start that it's my time of the month. Oh, wow. All right. Yeah, we have some good picks today. We have some interesting picks, and we have some stuff that I'm not sure what's going on with them because I'm not aware of the artist yet. So I'm excited about today. We're going to see what's going on. I was curious if anyone else was in the voice chats, but I ended up leaving myself connected for 8 hours. I was wondering when I got off of the Discord about 30 minutes ago, you had been in there for like 10 hours. I was like, what's that guy doing? Got a little experiment going on, but just accidentally left it in there. Probably just heard a bunch of fan noise. It happens. All right. Let's kick this off. It was closer to 11 by the end. I think you set a new record too. The voice chats don't get used very often. 11 hours might be the longest they've ever been in use straight. All right. Let's get this started. Like I said, we have a lot of lengthier tracks today, so I want to get a jump on this because I know we're going to run over anyways. No Man is an Island. Welcome. Glad to have you today. We're going to kick it off with some... Well, that's not right. We're going to kick it off with Rain and Kindo. Okay, this is not a good start to the day at all. Yeah, where's Reign of Kindo? All right, what's this song called? Impossible World. Oh, wait. You had how long to prepare? Technically, I had all this finished at 9 o'clock this morning, so about 2 hours ago. But somehow everything got kicked back by 1. All right, let's see about this one. Got to pull this other thing up. Synops, welcome. As usual, a little bit of technical difficulty around here. All right, well, that one's not too bad. All right, I think we are all set to go. Not sure what happened there, but I think we're good now. We're going to kick it off. Let's look at some context for this one. Comes from No Man is an Island. No context. We're just going to dive straight into this. See what's going on with Reign of Kindo.
Fire and ice, darkness and the sweet glowing light. Stories of old and days that still have yet to unfold. The heart and the soul, chaotic and the under control. All our hopes and our fears, the thrills and miseries we hold near. All the pains for the joys, the smiles for the tears in our eyes.
investigating the mysterious disappearance of a Spectrum employee. I believe he was last seen at Jarosz. I'm looking forward to that one. An interesting context around that track. Yeah, bit of a samba, very rhythmically technical. A lot of really cool piano work.
Every moment we're alive is absurdity for all we can tell. Impossible world, impossible world.
Okay.
I couldn't dream your world. Impossible world, impossible world. I couldn't dream your world.
Yeah, dude. The progression through the halftime feel, plus the brass ornamentation. Sick bass work too. I love the wonder and beauty mix there. Not a big fan of the harmonic shifts though.
Spirits are drawn together like the eve into dawn. And lovely the songs of spirits to whom no one belongs.
Yeah, dude, this is beautiful. And it's not the first time that I've been impressed by Reign of Kindo.
And how blessed are the young who've only just begun on their own. Impossible world, impossible world.
Dude, this chorus hits so good. The bass shining through here with the choir on the sides, so tasty. Or I guess not a choir, it's just vocal harmonies. Variation on the chord theme. Glad to hear I'm not the only one with a list that will never be fully exhausted. Oh, speaking of, Mark isn't here. Huh. I mean, we're missing a few people that are usually here too, so maybe just the holidays. This channel is probably terrible for people's lists of stuff to get to. There's so much good discovery here. That is the end. Okay. Yeah. We got a nice, neat idea, waiting to see where that develops into. I really figured we were going to come back to a verse or a chorus or maybe a nice finale, and it just kind of peters out. Yeah, the song was kind of ruined for me. Listen live to unlock the secret ending. I enjoyed that though. The general feel of it is fun, it's light, it's dancey. It's nice technicality, great showcasing of all the instruments. The brass did great on the transitions and the ornamentation. We got a little bit of them as lead in the bridge slash outro. The vocalist sounds great for this style. The piano, super funky. The drums are nice and light. And just the general feel of, I don't know, childhood joy. There's a lot of wonder and discovery in this. And the whole chorus shifting to halftime and kind of turning into something magical as far as the chords go, it's just, dude, that's awesome. I would have liked a big horn ending, yeah. I wonder though how much of this is supposed to line up with the impossible world, that all of this is possibly just an imagination run wild, something that can't exist. So it just kind of fades as the mind moves from imagination into whatever, from daydreaming back to reality. I don't know. I didn't check out the lyrics, but I'm trying to rationalize that ending. I like everything else about the song, and it really comes out of nowhere. There's no indication that that's what they're gonna do. It just kind of great track though, and I pulled that down. Probably not the first Reign of Kindo track I've pulled down. Definitely need to dig into them. Yeah, dude, great song. Absolutely agree. All right, next up we have. Wait, Moulettes for real? Did I miss? Did I get rid of two? There's no way. I'm really curious what happened. Yeah, Pears is next. Okay. Well, let's fix one more thing on on this stream. What's a couple more minutes getting behind? 0 out of 10 because of the fade out. What is this song that we're listening to? Unlock the Door. Oh yeah, dude, I've been waiting to listen to this because a long time ago I did a week of stuff that I enjoyed and that I would like to share with y'all. And one of the tracks that I did that week was Lock the Doors by the band Get Scared. And now we finally get to hear the song Unlock the Doors. So I'm curious what's going to go on here. All right. Did you ever see Frontier's comment on your oxidized reaction? Probably. I think that's one that I've seen it. I must have responded, or at least I can't imagine I would have just glossed over it. I'm gonna have to check that out later. And if I haven't replied, then I probably should. They said you'll love the new album. They're like lullabies. Oh, that's great. All right, well, that didn't work. I'll find it later and see what's going on there. Let's dive into this next track, though. We have some Moulettes. Unlock the Doors. I didn't reply to them, dude. That's wild. I must have missed it, but I go through every single comment. It takes me about it's about 4 hours across the week combined. It's not too bad yet. They're nursery rhymes, dude. I can't. Maybe I got distracted. I don't know. Maybe I set aside chunks of my week to go through all the comments. So I don't know. That's what happens to you. I mean, it's possible. I'm always doing like 5 things at once. And I know it's probably not the most efficient way of doing things, but it's how my brain wants to work. Massive ADHD brain loses track. I don't know if I have ADHD, but I feel that. Getting interrupted and losing track of things. We are experiencing technical difficulties as a black metal album. Let me write that down. All right. I'm going to have to find somebody to to make that for me, and I'll plaster it up on the screen whenever I've got to dip out and do some stuff. Left somebody outside of the office for 45 minutes. All they wanted to do before I saw her was print something for someone else. Yep, it happens. You just get sidetracked and sidetracked and sidetracked, and you're like, oh, geez, this thing all the way back at the beginning of the the quest chain. All right. Get rid of all these extra windows. This one comes at us from Pear. Once again, I bring Moulettes to the table, this time with a gorgeous prog folk rock track. Moore's down for prog rock, Moore's down for prog folk. Mixing them together sounds like a blast. Let's kick it. See what's going on. Prog folk sounds complicated. In my experience, it's usually the sound of prog, usually acoustic instrumentation with more interesting structure and melodic ideas. But folk tends to be a bit on the simpler side, so just making that a little bit more complex already brings it into the progressive realm. Broke. Sure. That would be genfolk, no? Great harmonies right off the bat. Dang, 2 for 2. Pulling this one down too.
All the time we're singing a song, slapping on thighs and stomping along. And all the time I'm thinking of you and all the things that we could be putting each other through.
Dude, I love a good fiddle. Yeah, dude, it happens. I know I'll never get through my list, but at least my list is better than my memory. I completely agree with that.
All the time we're singing a song, slapping on thighs and stomping along. And all the time I'm thinking of you and all the things that
Do we have an expanded form of that? I think that's the chorus, but we didn't have the faster violin stuff on it last time through.
cannot but be sure when you've seen the reaper. Stick with your kith and kin, well, nothing goes deeper. When all of those ahead of us are stampeding wildly, stand up in the saddle and be galloping beside me. There's no breath of air as fresh as that which is uncertain, so take my mighty hand as we slip under the curtain. All the time we're singing a song, slapping on thighs and stomping along. And all the time I'm thinking of you and all the things
Harmonies are just so good.
could be put
And the slide coming out of it for the intensity? Yeah. You know, this whole time I thought that bassoon was a bari sax. They do a great job building energy. Are those sections in 4/4 too? Yeah, I was trying to figure out why that felt so intense, but it is. It's like a punk beat breakdown in the middle of this track, very rhythmic focused. I tried to apply a 4/4 polyrhythm to it, and I couldn't find a good one, like one that lined up every time. So either they're playing across bar lines with the phrasing, or it's not in 4/4. Really interesting stuff, especially how beautiful and gorgeous and light so much of this track is. It ends on a really intense note. I fail at time signatures. The wonkier they get, for sure. Be kicked out of the gent band. Gent still blows my mind, dude. Some of those rhythms that these bands come up with, like this even, it's wild. How do you divide time up in your mind like that? Could you imagine a pit forming around jug and washboard stuff? It could happen though. I think that this right here showcases you can get some really intense, heavy stuff out of just acoustic instrumentation. Yeah, this song that ending right there kind of pushes a little bit into the Genty realm, 100%. And as usual, I enjoy it because they add the flavor of gent to an otherwise different track. Gent's not a genre. It's a flavor, it's something you add to stuff, and they did a fantastic job adding it to this. There's so much to love about this. The harmonies, the counterpoint, the not call and response, the theme and variation, coming back to the chorus with new ideas, always reinventing an old section we've been in. Just all the layers in here and keeping that heartbeat at the bottom of this track with the bassoon for the entire song, most of it anyways, and then wrapping it up with a breakdown section. I mean, there's so much to love about this. Hey, Stringhead. Yeah, 2 songs in. I've pulled 2 songs down. This is a fantastic start. Not a fan of gent, but as a flavor, it can be great. Yeah, I think that's not the first time I've pulled down a Moulettes track either, so one of these days I gotta get around to checking them out too. There's just too much good music. Gent could be the core technique-wise, still not a genre. Yeah. You can make... Well, see, here's the thing though. What if you make your entire song around the gent technique? Which a lot of bands have. And here's where, like, my intellectual side comes in. Yeah, you could describe that as progressive rock. I think bands like Meshuggah and Periphery's older stuff could easily be described as not progressive rock, progressive metal. But if I'm looking for progressive metal and I get that kind of thing, it's not exactly what I was looking for, was it? So I don't know. It is a genre, just not one I enjoy. Yeah. So everything is prog. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe prog's too big of an umbrella. I don't know. Genres are tough, right? This is why I still think we just need to wipe the entire thing out and start from scratch. No more of this reactionary naming. Let's stick with something more scientific. Let's keep this train rolling, though. We got some Kubbi coming up. Pronounced G's. I really like that. Geez. This is good G's. That's great. I'm going to have to use that the next time we get some genty jazz. All right, we got some Kubbi here, Spiritdancer. This one comes at us from Wormy, song off of Kubbi's second album, fun, bouncy, and textured. We have a theme going today. Lots of fun, bouncy stuff. Oh, geez, exactly. Let's dive into this, see what Kubbi's bringing to the table. You don't want any more fun? This is the stream to balance out all of the other longer form, heavier streams that we've had lately. Neither prog metal or gent. That's kind of true. What Meshuggah does is a bit different than what gent evolved into, but like a lot of progenitors, they have a more raw, extreme style of what gets refined down through iteration. I think I'd still classify them as gent. Okay, I like the ethereal start. Oh, second track in a row with some snaps. I'm curious how insightful that statement is about Meshuggah not being metal. If you would place that into like a gent community or a progressive metal community. I really like the filtered synth in the backgrounds. It's kind of ever present as this harmonic foundation for everything, but it also has complexity to it at times, little passing phrases. Some punchy chiptune, dude. I love how the synth in the back and the synth in the forefront are almost in conversation with each other here. Not your cup. It's an interesting mix between light and ethereal, and kind of like soothing and laid back, and then like this forward momentum bouncy stuff. That's 3 for 3 today. This is a solid stream for me. Yeah, shifting from downbeat accents on 1 to just was it prior? Yeah, on the end of 4. Digging that. Interesting, a limited threshold with major keys sometimes. Yeah. I enjoyed that, and that fade out worked well. Wait, Metal Archives didn't accept Meshuggah? That blows my mind. Because regardless of what subgenre you want to put them under, I don't see how anyone could argue that they aren't metal, given the screaming and the extreme distorted guitars and the loud drumming. What other genre would they fit under? They don't consider pure gent as metal. I don't. Gent is a sub-genre of progressive metal. It's in the name. See, hardcore well, okay. But hardcore has a different type of distorted guitar and a different type of harsh vocals. Meshuggah very clearly uses the sonic ideas of metal. I don't think that's disputable at all. So they're disagreeing about the compositional side of it. I would like to ask them what genre they think it belongs to. Because the closest might be a relationship to punk somewhere, but I think that would be a very hard position to argue from. Gatekeeping's a laugh, 100%. And the thing is, too, when it comes to Metal Archives, at least usually I can see their perspective. I probably won't agree with it, but I can at least... Okay, I can see where you're arguing from. You have a point, even if it's kind of dumb. I don't see any point with this, though. Meshuggah is clearly metal. Whether you enjoy that metal or not is a different story, but they don't fit anywhere else. Sure. Some of their decisions are incredibly befuddling. I like that word. Anyways, back to Kubbi. This was beautiful, wonderful, a really interesting push and pull between ethereal weightlessness and almost a rooted bounciness. You can't bounce without having gravity. and yet most of this song feels weightless. And it's a really interesting combination of the two, starting off a bit lighter, bringing in a physicality to that, and then going full weights, and then shifting back to the mix, and then finishing up on the lightness again. I thought that was a beautiful series of ideas, and it's really interesting to hear how they pair everything together. Great listen through and through. Love the harmonic work, love the production on this, fantastic stuff, and the lead synth. Yeah, I can get behind that. Great melodies on this. At least the side admins aren't Nazis. You know, you always have to wonder about that in some metal spaces. So yeah, I guess that's a positive to put in their books. I pulled this track down too, though. I don't know if I've done that for Kubbi before. I know we've checked out a couple tracks from them. That might be the first time I've pulled one down from them, and it's good stuff, man. Sometimes you just got to be in the mood for that, and it just clicks. All right, we have another request from Live From Here with Chris Teal. This talk show, I don't know what Live From Here is. I know Chris plays with musicians, and that's what we end up looking at, but we've gotten a few of these. It makes me think I need to find this series and watch it. That's a high bar for metalheads, unfortunately. All right, this one comes at us from Michael with no context. We're looking at a Sarah Jarosz? Should have looked that one up first. Greensleeves is the title of the track. We have a Chris Teal here on the right playing alongside Sarah. Let's dive into this. See what they're bringing to the table today. That's We Three Kings. No, that says Greensleeves.
For I am loved you well and long, delighting in your company. Greensleeves was all my joy, Greensleeves was my delight, Greensleeves was my heart of gold, and who but my lady Greensleeves?
Is this just another song, or is this her own, like she changed the lyrics? Oh, so Greensleeves is a traditional song. Oh, What Child Is This? Not We Three Kings. Oh, this is the original. Yeah, I am confusing it. This is the original. What Child Is This? The melody was taken from Greensleeves.
Was my delight. Greensleeves was my heart of gold, and who but my lady Greensleeves?
Okay, where are we going with this? Yeah, What Child Is This was written in 1865, but as Spiral Out mentioned, this is from the 1500s. I'm digging this jazzy rendition though. Love that. This one musician admiring another. Ooh. Coltrane also did a cover of this? I don't have to check that out.
My men were clothed all in green, invaded ever wait on thee. All this was gallant to be seen, and yet
So this would be what, bluegrass jazz? So Bleeze? Blaz? I like Blaz. Or just bluegrass? That was terrible. No one would say that. Bowls. Blast. We're sticking with it. Yeah, dude. Love the piano line on top of this. What? Okay. Getting interesting with it. You can't ask Chris to calm down with that. Chris gets into the music, man. It flows through him. Really interesting shift there. So at that final bit, one of the vocalists was higher, head voice a bit thinner, and the other one was chest voice a bit wider. And then they swapped. One shifted to head, and then the other shifted to chest. And it was a really interesting movement because they weren't, doing things together. They were in opposition of, and it allowed this combined sound between them to be consistent. I really like that. That was cool. As usual, dude, just fantastic folk stuff. Every time that Live From Here is presented, there's always some really cool stuff on it. And it's always on the a bit simpler side, as folk and bluegrass can tend to be. But I love the jazzy twist on this too, and starting it off with just the guitar and mandolin. Is that what Chris plays? Why can't I think of that? It's a smaller version of a. I'm completely blanking out here. Anyways, the two of them just playing their acoustic instruments and singing, and then the band comes in and they fill out the rest of the track. And keeping that energy, that jazzy idea all the way to the end. It is a mandolin. Cool. Keeping the energy through to the end of the track. Just fantastic, dude. The piano solo, the jazzier ideas, bringing in some darkness and tension into it were interesting. And then wrapping it up on a high note. Digging it. It's interesting that a couple of y'all talked about it going on a bit too long, but I found it to be rather measured. We had the A section, which was the vocal bit, then a solo, and then an A section, then a solo, and then an A section. I thought that was really well done. I mean, what was this? 6 minutes? But see, the thing is I'm also a sucker for this this melody. It's one of my favorite things written. And I think I'm just going to start calling it the Greensleeves melody because it's really interesting that it came from the 1500s rather than what I knew it from, which what child is this? And I'm just kind of over the moon about that. So yeah, I'm gonna pull this down. I probably should check out Sarah's work too, but I do need to watch everything I can from Live From Here. Figure out if they have full episodes posted somewhere. Maybe some sort of archive of it. Probably heard it too much, easily get bored with it. I think too much repetition for sure, but I really only hear it like once you know what though? Admittedly, by the end of like December, I am kind of over it. But I haven't heard it once this year, and it's kind of wild because we are quite far into December here, and I haven't heard any Christmas music yet. It's both a blessing and a curse because I do love some good Christmas tunes. Not the usual stuff, like no, but like we Three Kings and What Child Is This? Just phenomenal melodies. Carol of the Bells, dude, that's another good one. I think we did Carol of the Bells last year around this time, right? Oh, you've not heard it in a long time either, and you're still a bit worn out on it? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, dude, those 3 tracks though are phenomenal. International Christmas music live stream? Dude, that would be very cool. An entire live stream of Carol of the Bells interpretations? We should do that. Oh man, how long until we all collectively lose our minds to that one melody? That'd be fun. Be an interesting little experiment. That was an evil. That's not evil. It's a fun laugh. We're gonna have a fun time with that. Many Christmas songs are just the same, but sung in other languages. And a devilish grin and an evil laugh. That's not who I am. Come on, guys. You know me. You know me. I'm Brian of Critical Reactions. I'm not devilish or evil. Best Christmas music is Coventry Carol. I don't think I've heard that. If I have, I don't know that name to it, which, well, like Greensleeves here, it's quite possible I've heard the melody and not know the name of it, or even just not that name of it. I'll have to look that up though. All right, that was a good surprise, both musically, but also, you know, the melody revelation there. All right. Do I not have? Oh, I don't feel like messing around with that right now. I should get a filter thing so I can put on, because this is shot in ultra wide and it's messing up the formatting. Y'all can see the title. Y'all can see the website. I'm not going to mess with that right now, though. We're just going to dive straight into this. He has a small demon at his house, but we're not supposed to believe he's not. But we're supposed to believe he's not the devil. Then you saw me play Nier and Cruelty Squad, and saw what a monster I was. The secret's getting out. I'm not a nice guy after all. All right. We got some Astronoid, third shot here. Comes at us from Zyke Me with no comments, no context. Let's dive into this. See what's going on with this group here. Yeah, that just doesn't look good. good older metal sound here. How'd that Deus Ex playthrough go for you? Isn't 3 Dot Records, isn't that Periphery the record label? Lasted 2 levels. Yeah, 3 Dot is Periphery's record label. It's interesting because the vocals feel more modern, where the guitar work is definitely a bit more older. This album just came out too, November 7th it says. The very bright metal sounds. Is it gonna go death metal? A little bit. Bright metal. I think that's about where I sit with it. It's a solid track, but it's interesting because I don't know that I've heard this exact mashup before. The guitar work definitely feels a bit 80s or 90s. It has a bit of the brighter sound of almost like what is that electronic style that always reminds me of the 80s? Synthwave? Is that what it is? but then it also has like these death metal influences at times, and then the vocals are very modern pop metal. Okay, so yeah, synthwave. That's what I think of. Um, and so it is a combination of a bunch of sounds I don't always hear together, but it's also done in the most iterative way possible too. And I'm kind of 50-50 on it. See, I'm right there with you too. I think that this band can do some interesting stuff. I'm kind of hoping that this is a bit safer as it is a music video. And if they're, it doesn't say if this is their debut album or not. Simply that November 7th was when this album came out. 80s Europe style. They started in 2012. Okay. So they've softened up over the years then. Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea here. The concept is solid. And the musicianship's all there too. The guitar solo was well done. It's just all very safe for an interesting combination of sounds. So I don't know. I think it's a band I'm going to keep an eye on. I'm going to pull it down and check out the album. I don't know if I'll make it through the whole thing, but I want to hear what else they're doing. Might end up checking out some of their older work, maybe just their first album, see what they were doing there. I like who they are on paper. This song just didn't click with me. I think that's a bit of a shame because they are doing something very cool within the realm of pop metal. Something that the melodic metalcore and alternative metal scenes aren't doing. This is a bit of bringing the older sounds to a modern audience rather than crafting a new sound for a modern audience. And I like that. This song in particular just didn't grab me. Okay, so that's another opinion that they've softened up since their earlier stuff. All right, next up we have some Abraham. And if I remember correctly, we have some context to get through on this one. From Stringhead, Abraham are an experimental post-metal band. The song came from their 2018 album, Look, Here Comes the Dark, a double album that takes a cue from the Eons era project by the Ocean, but imagines what might happen in the future instead of looking at the past. Starting with the current Anthropocene era, called this due to how much human influence has shaped the world's evolution on a geological scale. It covers 3 more fictional eras, culminating with the extinction of all life on Earth, leaving it a barren, cold land. Bleak stuff, I know. The album is divided in 2 eras per CD and per LP. This song is the final one from the Anthropocene era. I can't pronounce that word, dude. And explores humanity's final hours. Full disclosure, I don't expect you to enjoy it, Brian, but who knows? Still worth checking out, and I feel some people in the community might dig it. Is our fun streak about to end? Yeah, it sounds like it. And I agree, this is an interesting concept. Taking what the Ocean does, but going into a fictional future. Move this song to the end so we can keep our streak going? Nah. Let's dive into this and see what they're bringing with Hyperoïne? Is that how that's pronounced? These bands and their names. Fate has decided. That is true. That's a good pun there. I'm not going to try to say it though. I've botched that word way too many times today. That's the wrong song. That was Moulettes all over again. That was unlock the doors. That was my fault. The funny thing is it kind of fit. It had a menacing element to it. But there was a point where I was like, wait, no, this is familiar. I'm a mist. This is a bad day for sure. But we'll make it through it and we'll all be better for it. Mistakes are an opportunity to improve. There we go. That's what I'm sticking with today. There is no way. What happens? No VOD. The VODs are all over on YouTube. Yeah, I'm getting there, dude. Hold your horses. There's the playlist for all the VODs. This is incredibly intense, though. Kind of hear the chat pile because honestly I was thinking more post-hardcore on this than post-metal. Hey Mark, welcome. Good call on the anger and regret. Definitely hear that. So this part is more post-hardcore influence. Okay, glad I'm not just hearing that. Oh, what's the drummer doing? Yeah, dude, the drummer just continues to shift up the polyrhythms here. interesting sounds floating around too. Hey, Ray Laser, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I get a little bit of law dispute out of this as well. Well, this album is Look, Here Comes the Dark. So that might be a good place to start, but maybe Stringhead can get you some other recommendations too. Yeah, so I agree with the comparison to something like The Ocean. It definitely captures a lot of the heaviness and weight. There's yelling and intense sounds, but it's also mixed with a very emotive atmosphere, which is one of the things I think sets The Ocean apart in the realm of post-metal, is that they tend to work with more complex and varying emotional atmospheres. Um, and this band does well by that too. But it also explores sounds outside of post-metal, which I'm excited about. Like I said, this comes off as a bit more post-hardcore. It fits my biases a little better, and I think the vocals too work for me more than I expected. It is filled with all sorts of gnarly sounds, warbling and scratching, and I don't know, just tense tones all over the place. And I think that does a great job to add to the already dark atmosphere from the harmonic elements. It works. It does its one thing really well, and I'm kind of curious, much like The Ocean, how this fits into the larger narrative, where this song fits against the album. Yeah, I can see the ISIS parallel. So yeah, that's another one I got to pull down. Is that 6 for 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I've pulled down every single song today. That's wild. I remember Emotion Sickness. I mean, granted, I just updated the spreadsheet and there's 3,000 reactions in there, and I still haven't put in all of the live streams. So I've probably listened to like 5,000 songs for the channel alone. Doesn't surprise me that I forgot a couple. Yeah, dude, it's wild. So this closes Act 1. So that's where the thumping comes in then. A way to wrap this up, to move not into the next track, but into the next act, almost as if pushing towards an interlude. Yeah, very interesting stuff. And I like the way that this band was inspired too. Because usually when I hear that a band is inspired by another band, I'm expecting something similar in execution and design and sound. And I like this idea of, we wanted to do what they were doing, but the exact opposite, and going for this fictional future writing rather than representing something of the past. And I love that. That's just a really great way to build something off of the shoulders of giants while still doing something rather unique. Is it downhill from here? I don't know. We can find out. We can find out by going to the next track. We got some hot chip on our hands, and apparently the album's called In Our Heads, so there's that too. This one's Motion Sickness. This one comes at us from John, a hot chip song that goes far beyond their electronic dance roots and brings some gravity and existential grandeur and emotional vulnerability. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. One of my favorite songs to play while outdoors at dusk. Let's dive into this. See what's going on here. Ignore the chat for a while. So right off the bat, I'm getting a bit of an 80s vibe from the instrumentation. Okay, we're back on the fun vibes. I really like the album artwork too. It's got some cool shapes in it. Nice bouncy synth, great brightness to it, love the vocals. There's an interesting bit of darkness, tension underneath this. It's fun and bright, but it's not happy. Is anyone picking that up? Yeah, another one with regret. I keep forgetting that word. I regret not committing it to memory. Even the lightness of these vocal parts here. Finally putting regret over here. That's awesome. I love that. What are chips? Regret and forget. Yeah. It's interesting too how it's getting more layered. I really wish I knew more about this track. dude, I want to know more about this track. Just the abrupt ending. No better way to wrap that up, I guess. Interesting track right there. It's complex in ways I don't expect, because musically it's fairly straightforward. There's a nice amount of layers to it. But harmonically it's kind of sitting within its zone. But given the bounciness and carefree element that I caught on the very beginning, I was interesting to hear this darker element, this regret seeping in. And by the end of the track, it's all I can feel. It's almost as if the bouncier funness is a mask. Is everything you're typing being blocked? I don't know, is it? Oh, I do see. Yeah, it's the brand. That brand is getting flagged. I'll allow him. I don't know why. Oh, it put him at the bottom. You couldn't have socketed him into the conversation naturally. Anyways, yeah, for some reason that brand of chips is getting flagged. No idea. Oh, so it's a slur for the Pakistani. I didn't know that. Well, if I had known that, I might not have allowed them to go through. Whatever. We've all learned something today, and that's the real thing. It's about learning and being better. Isn't this what we talked about at the beginning? Mistakes are great for improvement. Here we go. But yes, Takis are delicious. Oh, is it pronounced the same way though? Or is that like a paqui, like a French thing? We're all here for an education. I've never heard of those though. I don't think we have them in the States. So I should look for Paqui crisps, bold flavored tortilla chips that bring the heat. I mean, some of these flavors sound good. Haunted ghost pepper. That'd probably kill me, but I'd try it. Mucho nacho cheese. Wild. Jalapeno tropical. That sounds pretty good, actually. I'm not usually too big of a fan of mixing in like sweeter things. But yeah, with jalapeno, that might work really good. I could go for that. Good going in, bad going out. Oh, you mentioned the barbecue kebab flavor. Yeah, dude, those are so good. I wonder how much it would cost to import them, because that that was a really good chip. But they stopped making them? That's interesting, because their website says that they didn't stop making them. Can I order directly from the website? Oh, from Amazon. Their website took me to Amazon. Well, maybe they're all unavailable? Yep, looks like every flavor is unavailable. Dang. Well, that was a tease. They should take the website down. It directed me to a store that doesn't even carry them. Discontinued 2 years ago? That's even worse. At least for my situation. I mean, yours too, probably. You missed you at least had to try them. Now you're missing them. They were so powerful. What? Popcorn is an exclusively salted snack in Sweden? Do you mean that you can't eat non-salted popcorn? Cause that's legit bonkers. Cause kettle corn's the best, and that's sweetened. Also, plain popcorn is really good too. So I can't imagine only being able to get salted popcorn. That's bonkers. Because I eat unsalted popcorn all the time. It's actually fairly healthy without salt or butter or anything else on it. So the Americans have a sweet tooth. We absolutely do. A sweet tooth and a salty tooth and a processed tooth, and yeah. We don't have anywhere near as much regulation on our food over here. You can get American style toffee popcorn, but if you're going to get Swedish popcorn, it's exclusively salted. Really interesting. Yeah, I pass on salted licorice too. Saturated fat tooth. Yep, there's another one. If it's bad for you, we are certainly pushing it to an extreme over here. So, a heart attack from the one chip challenge. Wow. As an American, my first thought is, I bet I could handle it. Geez. That's why our life expectancy is so much lower over here. The masochist speaking. You know, before I started this channel, I didn't really consider myself to be a masochist, but, you know, 5 years of black metal and playing these really heavy emotional games y'all keep throwing at me, and yeah, I think that covers me pretty well. Plenty of videos of idiots eating it on a dare and puking. Wow. Local burger place switched from seed oil to tallow. Is that jeez. Oh, well, you said local, but I also think, what was that chain that did it recently? Is it Steak and Shake? Oh, so glad to hear you checked out Pluribus. It's almost over too. There's only 2 more episodes, 3 more episodes. It's really good though. I really love this week's episode. Just the sheer contrast, putting the 2 lives back to back like that. Excellent. Absolutely love that. All right. Before I spoil anything else, because I thought about that, I was like, dang, I probably shouldn't have said that. Let's when they name a song after food, that's when we'll get to them. All right. Let's get into this next track. We got some Vinyl Williams here. Feedback Delicates. It's an interesting track. You managed to mute me. I don't think I said anything too spoilery. But I'm of the mind that if you say anything, it's a spoiler. And I try not to talk about much of anything. Yeah, see, I was fine. But still. Let's see, we got context on this from Greg. I think this might finally be the song to get a positive reaction from you, but maybe my taste is just too weird. All right, that is a fun comment right there. I enjoy that. No, you couldn't know beforehand. Absolutely. And even when you get around to watching episode 7 and you're like, oh, that's what Brian was talking about, it's not a spoiler. So, all right, let's see what Greg has in store for us with Vinyl Williams.
Generations from the start.
mean, that's basically what it amounts to, the way the episode was framed. Oh! There's a lot of contrast on this track. It's certainly what makes it interesting. I mean, even Youth Worship Explosion's comments about the tuning on this, there's a lot of irregularities going on. Certainly unique. Hey, Evil, welcome. Yeah, we got yours up next. Definitely a good timing. You know what's interesting is that transition didn't seem to start to me this time. It's still a big shift, but it kind of worked. That really quick movements. And there's no middle, it sort of teleports. Interesting. Interesting. I'm fairly positive on that. I think this is certainly one of Greg's choices that's worked with me the best. It's still a bit of a tough listen for me though. It's just a hair bit on the strange side of things. It's a really cool combination of groovier, almost jazzier ideas as far as the rhythm section goes, and then pairing it with interesting, like ethereal, electronic, and psychedelic ideas. It doesn't necessarily groove into sections, but each moment individually has a lot of momentum and groove to it. Just give it to him. I will say, though, that on the whole, I had fun with this. And that's pretty good. The harmonies on here are slick. The production is phenomenal. The choices of where to place things, how to place them, the balance of everything, I mean, that all works. And it does kind of slip you into a trance-like vibe, which not a lot of music does that, especially in the psychedelic realm. I feel like that's the area that should kind of do these trance-like ideas, and I don't always connect with that. And for whatever reason, Vinyl Williams here put something together that did work for me. And yeah, it keeps you interested, 100%. And it did sound great on headphones. I'm really curious how that quick movement fits on speakers, because there is no middle on that. It's a really interesting choice there. The vocals are so lathered in reverb, they were almost like steam. Dude, that's a good description. And it is a really interesting contrast between the physicality of the drums and the bass instrument, a synth maybe, and then the etherealness of the vocals. I'm not familiar with Osric Tentacles, but if it's like this, I don't know, I'm kind of intrigued by it. I'm going to pull it down. There's not a lot of psychedelic stuff that grabs me, and this is, I think, one of the closest ones, so it's worth checking out. Now, to make a huge shift, I don't know what's going on in here, but it's anime, so I think it's going to be a bit different from everything else today. Also, this is interesting. It's from Aoi Yuki, I think is how that's pronounced, but the title's in Spanish, right? Los, los, los. I mean, maybe that also means something. Well, that would just be like the plural. It's got to be something in another language, right? That doesn't make any sense in Spanish. German, okay, that makes a lot more sense than the. So yeah, we're gonna go with German then for go, 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 which is cool. And maybe I'll remember that in the future. I think that's the way I'm gonna learn words in other languages, is comparing them to the languages I already know. So, all right, I guess that's how most people learn languages. Back to the music, which context on this one. From Evil, way back then, you like the ending of Kumo desu ga Nanika, so I'll give you a song by the same artist. Let's dive into it. See what we got in store for us here. Oh, it's not a music video? Alright, I'm already sold on this. Yeah, a bit of pop rock with a nice jazzy piano. I'll take this. piano is doing a lot of heavy lifting into my enjoyment though. I do wish the production were a little open though. It's very compressed. The strings were introduced in the last segment, leading over into this one. The vocals are definitely pop plays, that's for sure. Yeah, I enjoyed all of that. Melodic hysteria, and it does fit the character. That's awesome. Good synergy there. That's 9 pulls out of 9? Wow, today is a day. A fantastic day. Vocalist is a famous anime voice actor who's done hundreds of roles. Okay. So I see this is also the ending theme to a show. Is it common for voice actors to sing the ending songs? Because there's also that song about being transformed into the anime about being transformed into a spider that y'all had me listen to a couple of years back. And I vaguely remember that the vocalist the vocalist of that track was the voice actor too. Form in a great mood. That's absolutely true too. Oh, okay. See, because we just checked out Aoi Yuki not too long ago too, didn't we? I thought that's what you were referring to, but you're talking about all the way back, and we checked out the Spider song. So it's not typical then. This is more of just her being a good singer and a voice actress, and that crossover allowing her to do stuff like this. Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed that though. I'm a sucker for good piano and strings in rock tracks. I'm a sucker for good pop rock melodies. It's kind of hit on all that. This is definitely a fun track, and lots of passion and energy put in there too. I wish I could have heard a little bit more coming from the instrumentation, but from the vocals, especially right there at the middle, she kind of went into something a bit more spoken word, though still focusing on rhythm, and had a lot of emotion in like that one sentence, and it kind of bled into the ending of the track for me, really feeling this expression. So yeah, I enjoyed this. Another good track today. Now this is suggested to me because I enjoyed a representation of this artist last month. This just seems really fun. And well, I'm not sure about that one, But we may end up with me wanting to check out every single artist that we listen to today. But yes, I do believe this is some black metal here, and I forget how to pronounce this. I think y'all told me last time we had him on the channel. We're going to look at the track Sapling from them. This one comes from Nessa. Some people seem to enjoy this the last time, so I'll follow up on my part 2 promise of suggesting this band, this time with a song on quite the other side of the spectrum than last time, and what got me into her music. So let's dive into this and see what's going on here. And I won't click on the wrong song this time. Let's dive in. Okay, this is a black metal artist though, right? This is decidedly not black metal, yet at least. I mean, so far I'm sold on this. This is solid. Interesting bass tone here. Stop sending her music he likes. Can't let the host enjoy themselves too much. Yeah, I remember enjoying the last track we checked out. Really interesting springiness on the snare production. That is quite a large range there. From trip hop to dark folk. The stereo element of the drums, it used to be centered, right? I wonder if that's an homage or just a coincidence. I like the beginning more than the middle. About the time that the drums split, it leaned into more of a singularity, and this is a really long drone outro. But I feel like I still need to check this album out. Having heard 2 tracks from it and enjoyed the last one and enjoyed most of this one, it is still going on. There's still 10 seconds left. That is an interesting, yeah, very long fade out. Technically, the song is over now. Yeah, I like the first half a lot. I love the atmosphere of this, the weight, the heaviness, the moodiness. The vocals work really well. We also have, as I've mentioned about some other tracks, a combination of more physical sounds and more ethereal ones, creating a really nice contrast between the two. And I like the harmonic palette that goes with that as well. There is this weightlessness to the chords, but also a dreariness, a depression of sorts. I think it's a really cool combination of sounds. It ended up being a bit long in the tooth for me, unfortunately, though. But I still pulled it down. I still want to check out more from this artist because the first half does show a lot of promise, and their last track was fantastic. So I do think it's interesting, though, given all of the comparisons you all made, if I shouldn't also be checking out some of that. I mean, someone had mentioned Massive Attack, and that's a group that's kind of bounced off of me, but when I think about it, it's very close to this, at least the few tracks I've heard from them. I'm kind of wondering what about this works a little better for me than that. Radiohead also came up a couple of times too, and they are kind of hit and miss for me. So I don't know, like I said, it makes me want to go back to some of those and check them out, see what's going on with them. Doesn't sound like Massive Attack to you at all? See, I'm not really coming at it from a production standpoint, mostly in the ways that the atmosphere feels and how the melody sits within that. The combination of the laid back idea with the forward momentum and pairing this etherealness with a weightiness. Too withdrawn. Very interesting. It always surprises me, maybe not surprises me, interests me what people get out of music when they're more familiar with it. Because what I'm hearing is obviously going to be less familiar with it. And so it probably more surface level. Massive Attack's vocal lines are very punchy. See, when I think of Massive Attack, I think of one song, even though we've listened to a couple. And I don't think it really had punchy vocals in it. But it's quite possible that I'm looking at more of the compositional side of things too, where maybe the vocals aren't one for one in role, but that the role the vocals are playing is a role that I'm hearing in here. All right. Next up we have Aktor, Back on the Case. Comes from Youth Worship Explosion. Didn't I make a note about this each of the last 2 months? Fix text length on streams. Future Brian better take care of this. All right. This band sounds like a fun, quirky cross between 70s heavy metal and new wave. Their latest album, which was just released at the end of November this year, and is a concept album where they create a fictional Nordic noir TV series with every song representing an episode of the series. Just a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm on board for this. And I like how the album says season 2, so that's interesting. I like the artwork on it. Never trust future Brian. I fall into that trap all the time. But also don't trust past Brian. He's also he passes the buck way too often. Present Brian just is always screwed on things. How does that happen? All right, let's dive into this and see what Aktor has in store for us. Okay. Yeah, solid synths right there. Alter ego Brian. Oh, the cliche Tom fill. Icing on the cake. Ryan Bones. I was thinking of replacing the Y with an I, but we can do that too.
It would not help me much. It would not help me much at all if I waited for the boss to call. So I made my move. But there was nothing to prove. Do you understand? This is your last chance. Listen to the evidence. Oh yes, yes, you won't regret this. I'm clear of all that nonsense. 1 week to turn some screws. 1 week to learn some truth. That's all I want. That's all I've got. And no more mistakes. 'Cause I'm back on the case.
This is so good.
Here we go again.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, this does make me happy. Dude, as far as claps and snaps go, I think we've had more today than any previous stream.
Still got that creeping feeling. Still think I could be right. But I know if I reveal it, that could be the end.
I'm glad to hear that they lean into
That could be
noir
the end of
tropes.
me if I disregard authority. But I'm not scared to find another way there. Do I make myself clear? We are done here. Don't you let me down again. Oh no, soon I'll show you. I'm still the one to go to. 1 week to find a break. 1 week is all it takes. Another lead. That's all I need. And no more mistakes. 'Cause I'm back on the case. Back on the case.
The back, alternating back and forth. Yeah.
No more mistakes. Back on the case. No more mistakes. Back on the case.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I don't have a lot to add to it. It is what it is. A very fun, light pop rock track. The lyrics are the best part, but I also like the vibe they're crafting too. It feels like it's of the 80s. It has that vibe. It's the synth, it's the chords, but it also is a little more harmonically interesting than I figured too. The chorus injects these little bits of darkness at times, which is maybe foreshadowing for what happens after he's back on the case. I don't know, but for a track that's mostly about, yeah, I got back on the case, and it's this triumphant moment in the story. It also seems to have some underpinning elements that bring about some extra weight and darkness. I'm just curious, like, I don't know, it's like showing up in the middle of a season and picking up on some stuff in a show, and you're like, I don't know, maybe I could watch this. Maybe I should start from the beginning. So I'm on board with this. That's 11 for 11. Just a good fun time. Good way to almost wrap up today too. The pressure's on the last song. And the band's called Conjurer, which we've checked out in the past, I think. But I don't know. The Everything in the List edition. Can we do it? 12 pulls for 12 songs. Wait a second. Why do I have Conjurer? We're supposed to have the Twilight Sad? What happened? All right, let's see. What do we have here? I don't know what happened here. Yeah, your track is Conjurer. It's supposed to kick next week off. All right. Well, give me 1 second here. Let me go find a link for the Twilight Sad. Who suggested this? Chris? Ooh, that could be Discord or Patreon. All right, I got the link. That was fairly harmless. Got to do an audio check real quick. It is on Discord. All right, cool. The regretometer for this one's going to go to 110 and blow a gasket. All right. Let's see. That looks about right. I think that music video might make some people a little sick. We'll see what happens, though. I try really hard to like it. All right. This one comes at us from Chris. I have this threatening masterpiece for December, please. All right, FHI, have a good rest of your day. If threatening masterpiece sounds interesting, make sure you check out the VOD later. Threatening masterpiece. All right, let's check this out. The Twilight Sad, no one can ever know. It can't be bad, it's a masterpiece. The fun of music's subjective, yeah. Alright, I'm going to we'll do that. Very eerie off to the side.
each time, but it's the wrong one. See inside, see what you find. And who are you there for? And who are you there for? It seeps inside, it seeps inside. And through the door, you speak to me. The clothes were torn, what can it be? So through the door, you speak to me.
I'm ready to see where this goes.
And it's a shame she wanted more. Only place that we wouldn't go. One more thing you need to know is staying here well down below. Strong along, strong along, strong along.
It's certainly getting the mood.
Inside, see we find.
Haunting, eerie, something just out of the corner of your eye.
It seeps inside.
It's getting into the realm of industrial. Very minimal chordal stuff here, drone over here. Post-industrial, okay. I like the little bit of reverb on his vocals. Certain syllables come off a bit more robotic. The interesting texture. There's the 9 Inch Nails compression. There's our snare. 2 and 4. Bit of nostalgia thrown in here. Why does it feel kind of Christmassy? It's that one descending line. That's it, the cure. I was trying to place the sounds.
And it's a shame she wanted more. Only place that we couldn't go. One more thing you need to know is staying here well down below.
I'm gonna pull it down. 12 for 12. I enjoy what they're doing. But I think what really grabs me is a mix of the evolution of the track, which I thought was incredibly well done. I wasn't on board with it at the beginning. I think I made that pretty clear. I wanted to see where it developed, and it took a while to develop. But when we got there, that ending was well worth it. Not necessarily an explosive finale, but certainly a peak. And everything felt right. It was a great release, not an explosive power, but kind of moving away from the haunting, eerie elements into something a bit more balanced. And I found that to be a pretty strong release. But I also really enjoy the vocals, not necessarily because of the accent, but the accent's cool too, but it's the delivery of it. It's the emotion, it's the energy put through, sometimes a bit lighter, sometimes a bit more aggressive, and it's this fluidity between them that works really well. And all of it comes together beautifully in that final moment when the music cuts out and we get just the vocals. Yeah, that was great. Not my favorite of the day, but still a solid track. Makes me interested in the rest. I apologize. I can't pronounce your name. Invixity, possibly. Things are going good for me. You came in a little late. This is the end of the stream. I do take requests though over on Patreon. We do have some slots for next Sunday. If you want to get in on that, here's the website for that. You got to get in at the critic tier, and after you do, just shoot me a DM on Patreon or on Discord, and I'll get your pick in the list for next week. A reminder too that this is the last week of the year that we'll be doing reactions. We have the whatever theme starting tomorrow. We have our final album reaction on Saturday and our final stream of the year on next Sunday. After that, I'll be taking 2 weeks off, and I'll catch you all on the 4th, I think it is. That's first Sunday. Yeah, it is the 4th. The first Sunday of January is when I'll be back. So enjoy this last week of reactions. There's some cool stuff popping up. I've looked through the requests. I haven't made the schedule yet, but there's some really cool stuff that's been requested. So I think we're going to have a good week. And I haven't looked at the special selections for this week either, but special selections are usually pretty good too. So I think it's going to be a good final week. And oh, thank you. It's a bit faded these days. I've had this shirt for 6-7 years now. But yeah, classic X-Source, Domino, Deadpool, and Cable. All right, y'all. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And I'll catch you later.